There are so many holiday releases coming out. We are getting sneak peeks. We are getting full looks. I am so excited to talk about them. And I'm not just talking about like Christmas type holidays. We have Halloween launches. There are just so many new things coming out. I think where we last left off, we still hadn't seen the insides of the Hourglass blush palettes for holiday. And that feels like old news. That feels like old news. Those have been launched. People have bought them. People have seen the insides, all of that. So if that gives you any indication by how much stuff we have to catch up on, like it should. It really should. That all being said, hopefully we won't have any sound issues. I know it's kind of annoying to like mention that, but like literally, I don't know what's happening upstairs above me, you know what I'm saying? There's construction. There's just like a lot of stuff going on. So if you hear any of that, I apologize, but we're gonna push through it. We're gonna work past it, and let's just get into the new launches. Okay, filter. Also, I just wanted to pop in because as I'm editing, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my eyebrow? So like, I know I shouldn't bring attention. I know I shouldn't, but it's driving me absolutely mad. I don't know how I didn't notice that. I feel like IRL it looks fine, but something about the camera is translating it to like a spot in my eyebrow. So anyway, on to the video. Forgive me, please. We're gonna start off with something super exciting, super new, the new Charlotte Tilbury holiday collection. We finally have a sneak peek of that, and it's only in Europe currently. I'm so excited I get to include this because it is so fresh, it is so new, and I don't know, I have some thoughts. So this is the 2023 holiday collection from Charlotte Tilbury. There's the Beautyverse palette. It's a 9 eyeshadow palette. It has 9 shades in it. 4 look to be matte, 5 are shimmers, and like looking at the texture of these, it's looking like they're going to be similar to the single shadows, which I don't think we're getting single shadows because it says there's a Pillow Talk Dreams Come True. There's like a highlight and blush palette coming out, lots of little sets, but when it comes to like new makeup, I don't see anything besides this eyeshadow palette and the blush duos, like blush and highlighter duos. So I have a feeling we're not going to get single shadows this year, and that makes me kind of sad. I've really enjoyed, I know this is not necessarily the most popular opinion, but I have enjoyed collecting the little single shadows that have been coming out from Charlotte Tilbury. I think they are so fun. I think that they're so cute. I've talked about how I think little eyeshadows like this are little pots of treasure, okay? I don't know if it's just the season of my makeup like preferences at the moment, or if it's because I just have a lot of makeup currently, or just that I've seen a lot of makeup. So what gets me excited takes a lot or is just a little bit different, but I love these like really special pieces. That's what I'm looking out for. Things that I haven't really seen before, things that I feel like I'll treasure over time, and I feel like those little eyeshadows have been that. Although, let me show you, I'm kind of, actually, you guys are gonna be like, you're a sucker, and I'm like, maybe, yes, maybe. I don't know why, I was just like, you know, probably just looking at my makeup, staring at it longingly, I don't know. But my Cosmic Rocks, I opened it up, and it fell out, and so now it's just like crushed up in there. I like tried to put it back in, but it like fell out. It's like a baked shadow, so you know how they have that kind of mesh thing? It like fell out of that. So anyway, maybe that's why they're not doing single shadows. I don't really know, but I really wanted to see a couple single shadows. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have picked them up. When it comes to this 9 pan, okay, my initial thoughts were like, huh, do I like this, or is it just new? And there's definitely an aspect to that. Like when you first see something, you're like, I love it, and then give yourself some time, you know what I mean? But looking at this eyeshadow palette, I'm also like, well, it's kind of like what I like. It has some nice shimmery shades, a few staple mattes in there. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm gonna pick this up. I have a feeling this is coming home with me. I love that it's ethereal. I feel like I would wear it for everyday looks. Like, I kind of like it. Let me know what you guys think. When it comes to the blush and highlighter duos, I don't think I'm gonna pick those up, although the pink one does look pretty for that, like, you know, just sweet cheeks. I feel like that's what that look is. Like that baby pink. I mean, this isn't the most hot pink, but it's still kind of that baby light pink with the highlighter. I'm sure it's beautiful. Not sure if those are getting me because I also did pick up the blush and highlighter palette from last year. So I don't know if I need that, but I think I might pick up this little 9 pan. I love the outside packaging too. It's kind of like a pastel rainbow. So I don't know. I'm excited for this. I'd love to know any of your thoughts. There's also all these little sets. There's an advent calendar calendar. So we'll talk about those. We have a lot of holiday sets to talk about. We'll get caught up on those definitely soon enough. But for this collection, it might get me. And I don't know if I've been as into the holiday collections as I want to be. You guys will have to let me know what you want to see reviews on for sure. Like, I just don't know. Like, part of me loves it and part of me is like, oh yeah, it's a pretty easy pass. Like, both of those things are true at the same time. Let's just get into them though. Like, that's why we're here to talk about. Patrick Ta is doing some holiday stuff. This is like sneak peek, but there's gonna be a face and eye palette. So usually he just does a cheek palette. He's done it the last 2 years. And now we're getting kind of a combination piece, which I feel like has been kind of popular among some other brands as well. I think the blushes on their own look really pretty. I like the colors. They're bright, but they're pink. I feel like they're very on trend. The packaging is also hot pink, so I feel like it kind of goes with the vibe. But then there's this quad of eyeshadows, and these are supposed to be more like glittery, toppery type shades, which again, you guys know I'm obsessed with that. I love a little sheer shadow. I love a little sparkle. So in theory, I should like this, but I'm not always a fan of when face and eye products go together. I get that that is like easy to travel with, and in some ways I like that, especially when they're your perfect shades that you're wearing like basically all the time. I just don't know if that's what this palette is or if it's going to become a wasteland of like products I don't use. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a face and eye palette is like the best purchase you've ever made, or like literally gets no use, or like stuff is just dusty like spider webs on stuff you never even touch in the palette. So I don't know, I need to see this one in person. I kind of wish that the quad was its own like true quad, and I feel like it would have been an easy no-brainer pickup for me. There is also a lip gloss in here. It's a plumping lip gloss. I love my lip gloss from Patrick Ta, and She's Expensive. It is so good. Probably, like, honestly, probably my top gloss in my whole collection. So I'm tempted by this. I think this is like the plumping style, which is different than that formula, but I'm intrigued by this hot pink one. Again, something I want to test in store though. Like, there are things that I don't need to test in store. I'm already like, I'm on it. I want it. I want to try it. And I feel like this collection to me is like, I'm not like saying no, but I'm not saying an immediate yes either. So let me know what you guys think of this. I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions. One of the biggest launches that has come out since we've talked last is from Pat McGrath. She's launched her entire holiday collection. It's called the Bijoux Brilliance collection for holiday, and there's quite a bit going on in here, okay? It's a full-on holiday spectacular extravaganza, I feel like. So first we have the motherships that are face and eye. So again, we're seeing both face products and eye products in this palette. There are 2 different shades. There's the Starstruck Splendor, which I think is real. I love this 9-pan quad. This 9-pan palette of eyeshadows that are in here. I really love this. It's almost giving that like Secret Garden where it has those mauvey purples, a little bit of pink, but then it has some green colors. And from the swatches I've seen online, it looks like some of them might have a little bit of a duochromatic moment. And I think that the eyeshadows look pretty. There's 2 blushes in there, which again, for someone who doesn't have a lot of Pat McGrath, this might be a really great pickup. It's $78, I think is what it's gonna retail for. That one's definitely my favorite out of the 2. The other one that's coming out is called Jeweled Temptation, and this one's just a little more basic, and I don't know, it has a purple, a pink, and a gold. It's a little more regal in color story. The other one to me is a little more romantic, a little bit more, I don't know, soft and sultry. This one's a little bit stronger in, and more neutral overall as well. And then there's 2 blushes in here too. So I don't know how to feel about these. I wish that it was just those 9 pans, honestly. We did get some 5 pans, so we'll go through those, but I don't know how to feel. Part of me is like, I kind of love it. Part of me is like, I can kind of easily pass on it. I really loved the Starstruck Splendor color story. That one I just thought was really quite pretty and just slightly different, at least in pictures. It looked a little different than some of the other eyeshadow color stories we've been getting from Pat McGrath. For 5 pans, which she did 5 pans last year, and since then she did some with like the Star Wars collection. I think that came out earlier this year, and now we're seeing some more in this collection. I have really enjoyed my 5 pans from last holiday. And I feel like some of them look a little similar to some of the ones in here. So there's Bronze Ecstasy. I feel like that one I don't necessarily need. There's Sweet Romance, which is a little bit more pinky mauve-y. Then we have Lunar Nightshade. This one looks pretty stunning. I am tempted by it, but I also am trying to look at like, what would I actually use out of this palette? Is it just a beautiful color story and it looks beautiful on the models, but I would never wear it? I feel like it's falling into that category, but but absolutely stunning. Like really, really beautiful. I really love that 5-pan. And then the other one I really liked as well is called Bordeaux Bliss. And this one is a little bit more mauve-y, has like a cool tone taupiness about these kind of purpley pinky tones. So I kind of liked that one as well. I don't know if I'm going to pick any of this up though. I'm not sure about the prices on these 5-pans. They're 36. They're going to be $36 a piece, which is expensive for 5 eyeshadows, but at the same time, you know, talking about just like if you only had $35 to spend on something, getting a 5-pan eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath might be a nice price. Like I feel like it's still a price point people could buy, which is kind of interesting thinking about like money and the economy and things like that, like how brands are choosing to go about their holiday collections. And also I'm kind of interested to see how brands will go about Black Friday and sales and all of that leading up until the holidays, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I like that she did 5 pans, I'm not gonna lie. I just don't know if it's enough for me to get it, to be honest. Along with this collection, there are some blush trios. I'm not really interested in those. I have one from a couple holidays ago and I really don't use it, so I just don't think that that's gonna be something that I gravitate to personally. And then there are some colored mascaras as well, and that's kind of the collection. So I'd love to know, is there something you really want to see reviewed? Is there something you're really interested in? I'd love to know. You can buy the entire collection for $3.70 when it comes out. I think though some of this is going to go on sale. Pat McGrath stuff tends to go on sale. I really would have loved to see a highlighter, like a single pan highlighter from this collection. I bought the 2 from the last 2 collections, like from 2021 and from 2022, but there isn't one this year. And I kind of wish, you guys know me, I love a little highlighter. But I don't know. I feel like in this case, the face and eye palette together, I know for some people it's going to bring a lot of value and make them feel justified in spending that money, but I do tend to like my products a little bit more separated overall. So I don't know if this is the right collection for me, even though I was so excited when, you know, she was teasing it, as she always does. She always, you know, builds that anticipation. I think since we didn't talk about the Hourglass blush palettes, we should talk about them, at least kind of go over them. I was poised, I feel like, to pick one of these up because I just loved the outside packaging that they were teasing. I loved the animals, all that. Like, it was exciting to me. But actually looking inside, of course, they did what they always do. And I even said in that last video, I was like, let's not get too excited. It's gonna be the same shit. And it is the same shit. We knew it was gonna be the same stuff, but still, a girl can hope. When I'm looking at these, and I'm sure when you have them in person, it's easier to tell, but like my eyes just go, it's all the same. I can't tell you which palette is lighter or darker or what. I literally have no idea looking at them. All the blushes seem like the same. All of the lighter powders seem basically the same. All of the bronzers look kind of the same. Like I need to see these in person because otherwise I'm just like, photos are doing nothing for me, as in trying to puzzle out what this is. So I don't know. I think I saw some people saying there's like a 20% off coupon right now that you can use on these palettes. So if you're interested, might be a good time to get 20% off and still be able to use it, you know, at the beginning of the season here. But I am unsure if I'm gonna actually end up doing it this year, if I'm actually gonna go for it. I want that outer packaging, don't get me wrong. And I even think that I would use these powders and that these powders are something I would actually like the types of makeup that I'm interested in lately has been more this Hourglass style of like soft setting powders that don't have quite a matte finish. They might have something semi-luminous or, you know, demi-matte. The softer blushes, the way the bronzers are in here, those baked products, like all of that is what I'm into. The types of highlighters I'm sure that are in here I probably would love. But again, for it being a face palette, I just feel like I want to pick the powder. I want to know the powder I'm picking is the one that I want. And in here, you really have to do a lot of deep diving and digging, which I'm already telling you is confusing my brain. But I feel like sometimes you have to compromise in these palettes for maybe you want this new blush, but you don't really love this powder, or you already have another powder. Like, there's a lot of compromise that comes with a face palette with 6 options in it like this. And I just don't know if I'm going to do it. It is kind of expensive as well, but I feel like there's things that I'm gonna tell you I've bought and it's like, you got this tiny little thing for that much, but then you think this $90 palette is too much. Like, I don't know, price in that way doesn't always make sense with me. So it's not even that it's just expensive, it's just that I really want to think about the wear and the joy and the use that I'm gonna get out of these products, and I'm not sure if this is there, especially too when it comes to holiday releases. Something I try to do, and we can maybe make make a whole video about this, but I try to picture myself in July the next year and what I maybe am going to be thinking about these products. Am I still using them? Am I still in love with them? Do I still enjoy them? Or do I kind of feel disappointed that I have them? Or am I kind of over the newness, the shininess, and the hype of it all, you know? So I try to put myself in that. It's sometimes hard, sometimes you don't know, but I feel like one of my gauges, if I'm not an immediate like hell yes, then it might not be the best purchase for me. Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes I, you know, almost miss out on some really amazing things, but I feel like this is something I can pass up. I mean, there's always next year, right? There's always gonna be next year. That being said, a holiday collection I did end up buying from. I am a sucker lately for Chantecaille stuff. Chantecaille. I am just a sucker for it. This is the Precious Metals collection. It is their holiday 2023 collection, and there's a few different products. There's a lip product, there's like a blurring face powder kind of thing, an actual highlighter, and then a little eyeshadow, and I can only have you guess which item you think I bought. What do you think I bought? Okay, I bought the eyeshadow, I know. This is like kind of interesting, it's striped. So there's like a pink stripe and a gold stripe. The packaging on this is just so pretty. I mean, talk about a pot of treasure. It's literally gold flecks on the outside of it. And I really loved that about it. I love that this had like what seemed like a soft duochromatic flip, like a pinky gold flip. I could see myself using this as a single eyeshadow, so excited to use it. So I did end up picking that up. The Chantecaille eyeshadows are already so expensive, but this was even more. It was more premium at $68. So yeah, I know. But I have been loving my eyeshadows from the Wild Mustang collection, specifically Pinto. I think if I could go back, I probably would just get Pinto, or if I were suggesting to you one or the other between Rhode and Pinto, I would go with Pinto. But I'm excited for this. Could you get an indie eyeshadow, like single? Do I probably have some things similar? Probably. So I don't think you need to spend this money. And I'm saying this like reviewing it like I haven't even had it yet. But I do think there's probably tons of options similar to this out there, but I am personally very excited for it. And that's one of my requirements for when I'm buying the makeup. So I'm excited to have that, and I will obviously keep you updated on what I think of it. We have so much more holiday makeup to talk about, but I do want to talk about some of the Halloween holiday releases that have been going on, because seriously, my scrolling, it's like Halloween, Christmas, Halloween, Christmas. It is just so back and forth. I feel like I'm living a real life Nightmare Before Christmas, the battle of the holidays for sure. I feel like over the years, this is one of the best or the most launches I've seen for Halloween, and I was talking to Kelly about this, but I feel like Halloween is one of those holidays that I always want more releases for. I get so excited about, but it is a weird time to launch products, I feel like. And so even though I feel like we are seeing more Halloween launches than really ever before, I understand why maybe brands haven't done as many in the past, or more mainstream brands don't do it, because we're already getting holiday, like, you know, Christmas, those types of holiday launches in September, in August, so many months before, which, you know, some people say is too much runway. I kind of think that sometimes as well, but I also get that it's kind of nice to know things are coming out, know what you want to buy, getting excited for that, saving some money up for that. And sometimes it's just sneak peeks. We're not even getting like the ability to buy them yet, but it's just all happening very early. If brands were to do that for Halloween, oh my gosh, we would be getting Halloween launches in like July, June. And I think that we'd all be like, what the absolute hell is going on? It is the middle of summer. You need to stop. You know what I mean? Like that kind of marketing and promo doesn't work that way with Halloween as easily, I guess. And so you can't like market too early, but you also can't launch too close to Halloween where people are getting their palettes maybe even after the holiday. Like you need them to have their palettes like for the month of October. So it's just like, I feel like a short window. Nonetheless, I do enjoy seeing all the spooky little launches. I love it. I think it's so fun, but it does feel like way more limited in time. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I've just been thinking about that a lot. I feel like right before I uploaded the last video on new launches, the Colourpop Haunted Mansion collection had kind of dropped. And when I was seeing promos for this, I was so excited. I thought it was so cute. I'm a Disney girl, okay? I do love love Disney. I love the Haunted Mansion. I love when it's dressed up for The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love all of it. So I thought this was fun. This is one of those things though where I know that I like this just because of the theming, just because of the collab, and also the packaging. So much about this is the packaging, like the way it looks. It's so fun. But the actual makeup, am I using that? Like that is important. So looking at this, they have this glitterly obsessed like glitter pot, and it's glow in the dark, which I did think is cool. I try my best to not use plastic glitter at all, so it's not something for me, but I did think it was cool that it glows in the dark. Like that is a cool element. There are some lip products in here. These are the ultra matte lip colors. Not necessarily interested myself. I feel like the colors go with the theming for sure. I think the thing I'm most interested in, like if I were to pick something up, I think the Super Shock. I love looking at the Super Shocks for any Colourpop release. If they're doing like a full collection, I love checking those out and seeing if there's a shade I might like. There's a sparkly black, there's a purple, a blue, and I think the one I like the most is this white, which looks like it has some like blue reflect to it. So I really liked that, but again, I didn't pick any of this up. Just a spoiler if I haven't said that. None of this came home with me. As for the palette, I like this palette. I think it captures the vibe of Haunted Mansion without being too colorful, without being too neutral. Like I don't look at this and see only a neutral palette. I actually see a lot of color, but then when I really start breaking it down, I'm like, oh yeah, it's really just like cooler tones, purpley mauve type shades. Like I think that it works really well with the collection. And it has that pop of blue to tie in the packaging and all of that. So I actually think they did a pretty good job with this palette overall and coming out with a Halloween color story that's different from the Hocus Pocus ones we've been seeing in the past. So I think it's a cute little collection for sure. I like that it was done with Disney as well, like a Disney Halloween collection. It feels almost like a tradition at this point with Colourpop. So I thought that was a fun little collection. Not Halloween, but I want to just talk about the other Colourpop collection while we're here. They recently came out with the 11/11 collection. This was actually sent to me, everything but the lip products, which I'm so appreciative of because I don't tend to like the Colourpop lip products. I'm sorry, I don't. But I got the shadow sticks, the palette, and the blushes. If you watch my last video about Natasha Denona alternatives to I Need a Nude, like similar color stories, I did include this palette because I do think that there's just elements to this that remind me of that neutral palette. This one is a little bit more warm, I would say overall, but the eye look that I did with this so far, really pretty. I really loved it. I thought it worked really well. This does unfortunately have a glitter in it. I wish it didn't have that pressed glitter, but so far I'm really enjoying the palette. I really like the eyeshadow sticks as well, and the blushes were really nice too. So this whole collection, I just think the theme is adorable. I feel like these neutrals are super wearable, and I don't know, I'm trying to think, like if I didn't get sent this, I don't think this picture is really doing it justice, to be honest. I'm not sure if I would have picked anything up, but having it, I do think there are some nice like staple products if you're in the market. I don't know if it's like a must-have, but I do think it's a nice collection overall. And I'm not gonna lie, I love the blush packaging. There's like these little angel wings on it. It's so cute. And the blushes are really quite buildable, which is nice, a little bit different than I expected from the formula on those. So that's what's new from Colourpop. I think I saw today that they launched, or they're like teasing, it seems like a Sailor Moon collection. Yeah, Sailor Moon and Colourpop is coming soon. So if you loved the last Sailor Moon or you love Sailor Moon, they're doing another one, so keep your eyes out for that. Going back to Halloween launches though, I feel like a pretty huge Halloween launch was the Helaween collection with Oden's Eye in collaboration with Angelica, so congratulations to her and her collab. This one is pretty big. There's 2 palettes. I'm like holding up 3 fingers. There's 2 palettes. There were lip products. There were some extras, you know how they do the ribbons, and there were also these really cute keychains. I thought this was super fun and a play off of the Hella palette that Angelica initially collaborated with Oden's Eye on, and I thought this was like a fun addition. So there's the Little Ghost palette and the Trick or Treat palette. The Little Ghost one has more of the purples and blues in it, and then the Trick or Treat is more the orange and green. There are some more, I guess, neutrals, but I feel like it's a little bit more warm in tone, and they're really fun. So Angelica, super bright. You guys know I'm a little bit more in my neutral moment. I'm wearing green today though. I just do color a little bit different, so these are a lot for me, but I know these are so Angelica Sephora for sure. She loves color. She can combine so many different fun colors together and create beautiful looks. So congratulations to her. These are available now. I have some swatches in a short, so if you want to see that, check that out. But yeah, that Halloween launch happened. There's also a sneak peek of a palette from Cosmic Brushes, the Gothic palette. I want to see the inside of this so bad. I have a few Cosmic Brushes palettes. I have the Serendipity and I have the Muse. I didn't pick up the pastel one. I think there might have been one other one too, but you guys know, again, like I'm going to mention a lot of indie palettes coming up, and this is where I can tell that my tastes really have changed quite a bit, because I know only a few years ago I would have loved so many of these, and I still love them. I appreciate the color stories. I think they're so bold and exciting, and I love that about them so much, but I also am looking at like, what am I actually going to wear? And back in the day, I would have worn all those colors. I would have like, it would have been wearable, but now I'm like, this is a beautiful color story. I love the theming. I love so much, but I'm also like, how much am I wearing what's in here in a way that's not just like one shadow at a time? And that's what's been hard to kind of look at. So anyway, I'm going off on that because with the Cosmic Brushes, the Muse palette's beautiful. So beautiful. I really like the formula. I think it's a really pretty color story, but there's a lot of bold colors going on, lots of bold mattes. And I just find that even when I get inspired by a specific color, it really is by a color. And then I kind of build a look around that. Even today for my green, this is all from the Isamaya Industrial 2.0 palette, which I'm obsessed with. And that's kind of surprising because that's like a very colorful palette, but there's something about the way that those textures are done that really invites me to play with color. And so I love that because it does remind me that I do enjoy using color just in a little bit of a softer way. That all being said, I still want to know what's in this Gothic palette. I want to know what colors are in here. Is it gonna be like blacks and grays and burgundies? I don't know. We don't know, but I'm excited to see what's in there. Definitely a fun kind of sneak peek. We've gotten the inside of the Glamlite palette. This is the collaboration with Ghostface. I did not know until this collaboration that Ghostface was the name. I'm just like the Scream guy. I'm like, I don't know, his name's Ghostface, but I guess that's his name, Ghostface. I mean, it's pretty literal. It makes sense, honestly. Anyway, we have the inside of the palette. Very monochromatic. We're getting grays and blacks and silvers, cool tones, that type of stuff. I think it goes with the theme. I'm kind of surprised maybe we didn't get some burgundies or some reds in there just to kind of like, you know, add a little bit more. I mean, they're doing something monochromatic. Looking at the swatches, I know that there are slight differences in finishes. I know there are slight differences in undertones, something slightly more blue or more purple or more green of a gray. You know, I get it. But it's a lot. Like this, I want like the first half of these swatches. I'm like, I'm down with that. The rest of the palette, I just know I wouldn't necessarily use, but this is one of those pieces that I know people are gonna buy because they just love Halloween, they love Scream, they love Ghostface. I definitely think this is more of like a collector's piece, a novelty item, makeup as merch, all that type of stuff. So I'm sure it'll do really well. Since we're kind of talking indie, let's just go for it. There are a few palettes from Bellabeautebar. There's the recently Deinfluenced palette, which I thought was a funny name. This one has kind of a spooky theme to it because there's like blood coming from her mouth, like kind of vampire-esque, right? I don't know. So that color story looks really pretty. It looks like it has some nice like duochromes to it. I think the palette I like out of the two though the most is the Basic Witch. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, so if I did, forgive me. But this color story, this is where I know that I've changed because this is the color story that would have got me. I would have bought this in a heartbeat. I love these tones together. I love those pinks with that kind of orangey yellow and the purples and the greens, all of that. I'm obsessed with those colors. Like my eyes dance. They dance along the pans. They just like are feeling joy. Like my little eyeballs literally are like joyous looking at that color story, okay? That being said, I know that I don't wear these colors nearly as much as I have in the past, so I just don't know if it's the right one for me, but the shimmers again look really pretty, like some really nice duochrome. So if you're into these, like that's why I want to bring these up in these videos, because even if it's not my style, like we all have different styles, we all have different tastes, we all have different price points and brands we want to buy from. from, all of that. So I want to like bring some attention to it because I do think that that one's like a really beautiful color story. I really love it. Same with these Ensley Rain palettes. This brand I think does some really, really beautiful color stories. They're kind of expensive eyeshadow palettes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and they're also kind of big, so that's something too. I tend to like something smaller, a single eyeshadow, quads, 9 pans, those types of things. This is like quite big, but the Harvest Moon palette, stunning, stunning. The shimmers look amazing. The mattes that are in there nice and grungy, and I feel like they complement all of them so well. There's lots of duochromes and just regular shimmers. I don't know. This palette, in another life, in a moment of weakness, I don't know, I do think is so pretty. I really do. And the other one, this is like an older palette, but the Flower Moon, also super colorful, but this is the type, like the texture is getting me. I could see me doing a lot of single shadow looks with like each of those shadows, and then they do have like some corresponding mattes just to tie in the outer corner for simple, colorful, beautiful, ethereal type of look. So I don't know, those palettes definitely are stunning. There's a new one from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I haven't tried anything from Blend Bunny, but this is the Sickly Sweet palette. It has some pastels, there's some deeper colors in there too. Again, kind of a big palette, not necessarily for me. I know that at one point this would have been for me though. This is another one that I could easily see myself buying like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years ago at this point, but I would have probably wanted to pick that up back in the day. Very fun, very pastel. It's a little bit all over the place. I know that they used to do like a gradient. That's what I've seen like through the Surge palette. I don't know all of them. I'm not really well versed in the brand, but it almost looks like confetti. That's what the layout looks like to me, and I kind of think it's fun for these pops of pastels. So that palette's out. Another one that's new, this is the Fantasy Cosmetica Warlock palette. This one is quite pretty. It goes more green. It has some deeper mattes. I love the Fantasy Cosmetica shimmers. I loved the last palette so much, the Fighter. It just had a little bit more of like a grungy neutral tone to it that, even though it was a little more colorful, a little bit more, it still totally fit my preference. This one's just a little bit more colorful, but I definitely think if you haven't tried them out, you love indie brands, that Fantasy Cosmetica is one to try out for sure. Okay, I'm trying to think like, where is there more Halloween? I don't know if we have that much more Halloween, so let's go back to Holiday. We're going back to Holiday. Still tons to talk about. I'm telling you, there is so much right now. It is fun. When you have this many launches, we are just spoiled for choice over here of like what you could get. Like, ooh, do I like that? No. What's next? Show me what's next. Sometimes we're in like a barren desert and there's like nothing. You're like, can someone release something good? Like, what's going on? And I feel like there are just so many options right now. Anyway, okay. Anastasia Beverly Hills, they're coming out with minis of some of their past really popular palettes. So we're getting a mini Modern Renaissance and a mini Sultry. I don't know how to feel about this. I know Modern Renaissance took the world by storm, the makeup community by storm. I love that palette. You love that palette. We all love that palette, okay? I did. I really loved it at the time. Looking at the mini, I don't know how much I love it. I don't know. It's not getting me. The nostalgia that is not there. I think it looks cheaper. I don't really like the 9 pan. I don't know. The Sultry I like a lot more because I'm just into those more cooler tones. I never had the Sultry palette. I know that one is very well like a coveted palette because I think it came out for holiday. It wasn't like a more permanent release, and so if you got it, you got it, and then it was kind of like, you know, you gotta find it. It was a little more of a search and a struggle if you wanted it later on. This 9 pan I think does translate better. They left out the pink shade, which is like the pop that makes Sultry kind of interesting to look at. So in that way, it doesn't really look like Sultry to me because it doesn't have that pop, but I get it also. Like if I had to leave out a shadow from that palette, it's the one I'm leaving behind also. That being said, I still don't really love the 9 pan for some reason. It just feels like older Huda Beauty, you know what I mean? The outside of the packaging looks kind of just boring. I don't know. I'm just not really a fan. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. The highlighter that they've teased, that for the holiday collection, has my attention a little bit more. I think part of the reason I want this though, is it because of this highlighter or is it because of the FOMO I have from the Omrezi highlighter that came out? You know what I'm saying? I think it's more of that. I think it's the fact that I didn't buy that highlighter when everyone else did and everyone raved about it for years and years and years and I never had it. And now I'm like, okay, I buy a little more makeup. Maybe I need to get this one so I don't have the FOMO. But when I'm being honest, I don't know if I actually want this highlighter. You know what I mean? Color-wise, it seems like it might be a tad too deep for me. Maybe not once it's like buffed out and stuff. I'm surprised they're only coming out with one color, but it seems like a holiday moment and sometimes brands do that just for holiday. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick that one up. A little more tempting though than the the palettes for sure. Okay, a highlighter that did get me though. Let's talk about this because it's on its way to me now. This is from Dolce & Gabbana of all brands. Didn't realize they really did makeup, but this is the Devotion collection. This Devotion emblem that they do, I've done a lot of research because they have a Devotion perfume, which the bottle is stunning and I also might not like coming to me. Anyway, I'm so chatty and gabby in this video, but this highlighter, stunning, intricate, pressing, check. Love that. Color I think is gonna work for me. It's a little bit rosy, but I'm hopeful that it'll look really good, especially over blush. So I like that. The packaging, stunning. Oh, I'm excited to add this little jewel to my collection. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm so excited. There are some other elements to the collection. There's some lip products, maybe something else, I'm not sure. But what I really am after is that compact and that highlighter. It's giving what I wanted Pat McGrath to give and what Pat McGrath gave last year. So I'm very excited for that. Very expensive. The only place I could find it was Harrods, and then I had to pay shipping. So I don't even know if I suggest doing it. I am getting it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it's worth it or if it's like a skip, okay? But it's just too beautiful for me to pass up. I'm very much in my era of being a sucker for packaging and presentation right now. I just love it. I'm in love. I'm obsessed. You know what I'm saying? What else? There's lots of lip balms. Are you guys as excited about lip balms as I've been lately? Because that's one of the categories I've been just obsessed with and loving. There are a lot of new releases. So from Summer Fridays, they just announced a sweet mint edition flavor for their lip butter line, which, spoiler, I did pick up. I was so excited for this, so I got that. It looks just like the clear lip balm, the vanilla one. It does have a sweet mint flavor. The mint does not add too much plumping or anything. It's just nice. I like it. I like this formula a lot. But then right after that, they released also a new flavor in this set. This is gonna have an iced coffee flavor, which again, I'm like, I want to get it. I really want that. It's in a set with the vanilla, which I do have, so I might gift that if I buy the set, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy the set. And then it also has cherry, which I don't have cherry, so I'm glad I don't have that one yet. So the set can be a little bit more of value for me. So I'm excited for that. I love that. There's a new little Tony Moly lip balm. This is the Jelly Lip Melt Treatment in Hot Cocoa. How cute is that? The thing is, I love the idea of this hot cocoa because the holidays, all that, so fun, right? Festive, fun, and fancy. But let's get real. Chocolate stuff sometimes is gross smelling. Like, at least to me, I don't know, maybe you love it. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I'm like, this stinks. This smells nasty. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm gonna actually like the smell. I have a few of these little jelly lip guys. I haven't tried them yet, so I don't know. Anyway, I love the new addition to a flavor. Like right now, a new addition in flavor or color to a lip balm line. You got me. I'm a sucker. You got me. Some exciting stuff from Persona. They're launching their own peptide lip balms. This is the DayMask Peptide Lip Balm. It's going to come in 3 different flavors. I did get these sent to me. I'm an affiliate with Persona, so I have a code for them. They're going to be launching the 27th. I'm wearing June. That's what I've been wearing in the video with a little lip liner. I think I can show it because they're launched on their website. They have the same tip as the Summer Fridays. I've only tried June, which is kind of the like a peachy kind of color. They feel so nice, you guys. I'm still testing them. I literally got these like yesterday, but I'm always excited to see launches from Persona. I feel like they've been doing a lot lately, at least for them, because they tend to like add things to their line, I feel like, in a more meaningful and thoughtful way. So we're not getting tons of new launches all the time, but when we do, I feel like it's so special. These are so on trend. I feel like the colors are beautiful. I've really been enjoying the formula. So what an exciting, I think this is an exciting launch. This is me though, okay? This is like literally right up my alley. So excited for that launch. There's also some new additions to the Rhode peptide lip balms. I'm telling you, the lip balms are very trendy. And even though we're going into fall and winter, which I feel like I tend to bust out my liquid lipsticks, I don't think I'm gonna give up the gloss this year. And also because we get dry lips, it's colder out, I want the moisture. So I'm probably gonna be rocking the glossy lip into fall and winter, to be honest. That being said, from Rhode, there's new peptide lip treatments in 4 colors. There's Ribbon, which is a sheer pink, Toast, which is a rose taupe, Raspberry Jelly, which is a crushed berry, and also Espresso, which is a rich brown. Beautiful color selection for only 4 shades. I think those are really beautiful colors to go with. They look like they have a nice opacity to them, like not too sheer, but also not too opaque. I've really loved the strawberry one that I picked up. That was limited edition. Not sure if it's still available, but I have been enjoying that. It feels so nice, lightweight, plush, but glossy on the lips. So I am excited for these. I'm like, get me all the lip balms, all the highlighters, all the single shadows. That's like what I want right now. I thought this blush was a really good addition to Danessa Myrix's line. This is the Pink Balm blush. So it's just a new color in the Yummy Balm like blush, cream blush line. Okay, oh my gosh, was that confusing? I think so. This hot pink color has been all the rage. This is the color of the year, really, I feel like, when it comes to blushes. So I'm excited that this is going to be added to the line. It might be limited edition. I hope it's not. I know it's coming out for holiday, but I hope they keep this color around, because for the blushes she did come out with, they were a lot of orangey, corally, peachy tones, which are really beautiful, but this definitely, I feel like, is a different color in the line and offers some variety there. What else? There's just so much, you guys. The new Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powders. I don't think I've talked about these. I am interested in them. I love the loose powder. Maybe I have talked about these. I'm interested. I haven't picked them up yet. We'll see if I do. I feel like, honestly, I just feel like I can't wait for winter. I'm like, then this oily ass skin goes back to being a little more contained, because right now it doesn't matter what I do. I just feel like I'm you know, two hours into anything and I'm a oily mess, and if I add stuff, it's just, you know, I'm just making it through the summer, guys. I'm making it through the summer, just trying to look as cute as I can. Just trying to look as cute as I can. So I can't wait for winter, because I'm remembering like all the products I loved in winter definitely don't work the same. They just don't work quite the same in the summertime. Okay, continuing on. There are some new palettes from Kimchi Chic. I thought these were interesting because they were very reminiscent. They were like a baby of the Colourpop monochromatic palettes. I'm thinking things like the Blue Moon palette, the Blow and Smoke palette. What are all those? Get Lucky, I think was one of them. All of those palettes combined with the Huda 9-pan palette. So like the Gemstones ones that came out. It's like if those two palettes had a baby, I feel like that's what we're getting here. Some bold color going on, very monochromatic. I think they're kind of fun, but I don't know if they're right for me personally, but you know, kind of fun to see. This one, weirdly, I don't think I'm gonna actually get it, but I did like looking at it, and this one row on the, I don't know if it'll be your right or left. You'll know the row, just it's not the yellow row, it's the other side, okay? Even though I like that there's a yellow in here. This is from by Terry. It's for holiday. It's the Opulent Star VIP Expert Eye Palette. It's a 9-pan. It's so funny because these types of palettes, I am telling you, a couple of years ago, again, I'm like, what boring finishes, satins, get out of here. And now I'm like, oh, how ethereal. Oh, just a soft luminescence to the eye. I love that. So, you know, things change, guys. Things change. Not everything stays the same. I can tell you that much. Something about this color story is pretty, I feel like, exciting for by Terry, right? Like, okay, yellow, okay, pink. There's even this kind of like bluey teal blackened silvery color. I don't know. It's pretty. I think it's pretty, actually. I don't know how much I would wear these again, except for that one row. I love that little taupey shade. That color is like, can I get that in a single? Thank you very much. But I don't know, something about that 9-pan kind of caught my eye. Oh, this I'm getting. A holiday launch. If there were some I'm on the fence about, you know, don't know, again, tell me what you want to see. If you really want to see some reviews, I can try to make those happen for you guys. But this one, I don't need you to convince me. I'm getting it. The Moondust freaking palette from Urban Decay. I've been asking for this since 2019. Like, I have been asking for this. So I am so excited that we're getting some quads. There are two different palettes. I think they're already available in Canada, but they are going to be coming to the US at some point. I'm assuming they're going to be coming to other markets. And I don't think I'm going to pick up both of these, but I'm so excited to see a Moondust palette from them. The more neutral beigey one is the one I'm for sure picking up. It does have Space Cowboy in it, which is available as a single, and I do own all of the Moondust shadows, so I have that. But I still feel like for the other colors, it'll be worth it. I'm so excited that other people are going to be able to get that shade, which is so loved, in a palette, and then also get the other ones for such a good value, because these are expensive on their own. They're like 20, are they just 20 or are they more like $25 eyeshadows? So this palette should hopefully at least bring the cost down a little bit. So excited for that. Like I said, I know I'm picking up the one. I might pick up the other one, but I just don't feel as attracted to the silver and the gold and the pink. Like, they could be pretty looks, don't get me wrong, but I just think I'll use the other one all the time. Like, you're gonna have to pry it out of my hands, pretty sure. So that for sure I'm gonna get as soon as it's available. The Nars Holiday collection, although I think this is probably probably going to be great quality and I can see a lot of people really enjoying it and all of that. I don't think it's right for me. There's a blush palette. It's called All That Glitters Light Reflecting Cheek Palette, I think it is. I don't think I'm going to pick that up. There's also an eyeshadow palette, kind of in similar tones. It has some of those more red tones and, you know, warmer red tones. And I'm just not as into that on my eyes. I was looking forward to what they might come out with. If it was like a cool toned holiday release, I probably would have picked it up. But I just don't really wear anything that warm. And if I do, I have tons of stuff I feel like that I could get some inspiration from. So I passed on that, and I'm going to pass on that. Even though I do feel like the Nars holiday launches are usually really great quality. So if you are into them and you don't mind it being limited edition, it might be something to look at. Another thing from Patrick Ta, these are going to launch I think pretty soon on his website. They are the multi-dimensional eye toppers. So these are those fairy dust, loose sparkly shades. These are some of those things that I'm like, will I use it? Maybe. Do I want it? Yeah, I love sparkle. I'm like, you know, fairy dust is my personality. Like, I love this. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy them. I want to. They remind me of the Give Beauty ones from the Gwen Stefani line. She has like 3 and they're very pretty as well. So yeah, I'm tempted. I'm tempted by them. Like, there's a gold sparkle, a white sparkle, giving luxury, giving rich. Like, yeah. I love it. I kind of want them. Just fun makeup. Am I going to be using these loose sparkles? I don't know. And also you probably can get those if you really want, like not in the nice packaging or in that exact luxurious packaging, but indie brands do them. Those loose sparkles are a lot of places. I would be lying if I said I didn't want them. From KVD, there are some new Dazzle Gel Hyper Metallic eyeshadows. There's 3 colors. I don't know if these are a part of holiday or just launching in general. I think these are beautiful. They're like jewel toned, almost like those bugs, like the back of a beetle. Very rich, saturated, sexy, sultry colors. I do love that. They seem to have like a black base on them. The thing is, I just know I won't wear these colors, so they're not for me. I wish that they had launched a few other shades, some lighter shades, some more neutral shades, something like that. I even would love to see in the future maybe this formula. I would give it a try in the same colors or similar colors, or taking inspiration from those shadow sticks that they have. I love those shadow sticks from them. So I would love to see maybe that expanded on, but kind of a cool launch overall, just not the perfect colors for me. We're getting close, guys. We really are covering it all today. This from Farsali, I really want to try them. It's the Luminous Peptide Serum. It has those little balls in it. You know what I'm talking about? It has like the little pearly balls that get like smashed as you use it. That feels to be like a trend. I feel like back in the day it would have been like, oh, but now I'm kind of like into it. I think Chanel does something like this. I think Rose Inc has something like this. I want to try it. I haven't tried much from Farsali. I think they closed down and came back. I think that's something. I don't really know a ton, but I do want to try this. They definitely have had really popular serum type products in the past, and I would be willing to give that one a try for sure. There are some new lip products from RMS that I'm kind of interested in. These are the Legendary Serum lipsticks. I don't know if I'd actually like these because I'm very picky about the lip products I like, but these seem like they have a chance for being a lipstick. Like, these seem like the type of lipstick I could do. So I just had my eyes on them. I don't know if I touched on this yet, but from Lethal Cosmetic, they're coming out with a 2-Up collection, which is a second version of the 1-Up collection and 1-Up palette. Fun colors, love the pastels. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on because they're like outlined by different colors, and so my eye is just like, what colors are actually the powders? Like, what colors are you actually able to put on your eye? But I think it's fun. They always have like really good, I feel like, vision for their launches. I really love that. And they have great quality products as well. I don't necessarily love, I know this is nitpicky, but I don't necessarily love the layout of this palette. There's a lot of dead space in different ways. And I know it's like creative for this collab, but that is something I'm like, I don't really love to see, you know, personally. But I kind of think that's what I want to talk about today. I think that's enough, my goodness. We've been here what feels like forever talking about the launches. I'd love to know, what are you excited about? What are some things you want to see reviews on? What have you bought already? Is there anything? Maybe all this stuff is an easy pass for you. I'd love to know any of your thoughts on the new makeup coming out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love being able to chat about all the new stuff with you guys. It's so fun, but I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.